Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Copper Jacket TV. So contrary to everything you've been hearing lately about rifle bans, mag bans, and even carry bans, we live in some pretty exciting times right now post-Bruin, where the Supreme Court has told the lower courts how they are supposed to evaluate and review Second Amendment cases. That's spurred on a lot of new lawsuits, and it's also helped some lawsuits that were kind of stalled out at the appellate level. Now, one of these cases that has kind of been helped out by the Bruin decision is the case of Bevis v. Naperville out of Illinois, which is challenging the assault weapons ban in that county. Well, it looks like Judge Coney Barrett might actually hear this one. So Supreme Court Justice might be taking on the first so-called assault weapons ban case. Let's talk about it. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about what's going on here and why this is so important. So as I'm sure you're aware, there's quite a few lawsuits that are very similar to this lawsuit that Coney Barrett has decided that she is going to be hearing briefs on. We have lawsuits in California, in Washington, in New York, in Illinois, obviously, and so many other states. And this gives us some insight as to how the Supreme Court might view these cases again post-Bruin. To my knowledge, the Supreme Court to this date has not heard any arguments regarding any of the state's so-called assault weapons bans. So this is actually a very big deal that we have a Supreme Court justice now who has decided that she is going to be hearing briefs in this case. Because again, it signals what the Supreme Court might decide should one of these cases make it all the way to a full court. So let's say the California case, which is currently sitting in front of the Ninth Circuit, I have a good feeling that that's going to be heading up to the Supreme Court. And if the Supreme Court decides to actually take that case on, this decision by Coney Barrett down the road might give us some insight as to how they would view that case later on. Now, it's only one justice, but it's a majority conservative court at the moment. So it would give us a little bit of insight as to how maybe the rest of the conservative judges on that panel would act. Now, one thing I want to point out is that the plaintiffs aren't asking the justice to overturn the law altogether. They're asking for an emergency injunction. And if that injunction was granted, it would bar enforcement of that law. The law would still exist, but it would be unenforceable while this case moves forward. But by granting that, the justice is basically saying that she believes that the plaintiffs have a likelihood of success on the merits. So again, it would give us a clear indication of where she stands, and that indication would be heard nationwide. I guarantee you that every single appellate court and every single state in this country that has a similar ban would be paying very close attention to it. And so that might have an effect on all of these other cases moving forward. So definitely keep that in mind. While this deals with Illinois and Naperville, the Supreme Court, when they speak, it has effects nationwide, just like Bruin. Bruin was a case out of New York, and it dealt specifically with New York. But after Bruin came out, it changed the Second Amendment landscape in this country forever. So when the Supreme Court speaks, it carries weight across the entire country. So again, while this deals just with Illinois and Naperville, we're talking about an entire country that could see repercussions from any type of Supreme Court decision. So let's keep our fingers crossed here that she can see through all the lies and the deceit of those people who would like to push these unconstitutional laws, and sees that the plaintiffs do have a likelihood of success here, and that the Constitution and our Second Amendment rights are clearly being violated by what they're doing in Illinois and Naperville. So we're going to keep a close watch on this one, and I'm very curious what the outcome will be, because as far as these other states go, I mean, we're just waiting on a break like this. So again, we'll pay close attention to it. If there's any movement, she comes out with a decision or an order, I will let you guys know. But it would be great, at least, just to get the injunction against what Illinois is doing right now. So I wanted to share that with you guys, and I want to thank you all very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please like, subscribe, and you guys have a great day.